They made us laugh until we cried, turned awkward moments into punchlines, and became the masters of comedy across TV, film, and stand-up stages. But now it's 2025, and their looks may have changed even if their sense of humor hasn't. Can you still recognize these comedy legends today? You'll have 5 seconds to guess each one from their current look before we reveal their funniest days in the spotlight. Get ready to test your memory and then versus now. George Lopez's sitcom brought Latino family life and culture to mainstream television in a heartfelt, funny way. At 64 in 2025, Lopez is still performing stand-up and acting in film projects. Eddie Murphy's ability to play multiple hilarious characters in one movie cemented him as a comedy superstar with global recognition. At 64 in 2025, Murphy is still celebrated for his stand-up and film career, inspiring younger comedians everywhere. Eddie Izzard's unique blend of surreal humor and history jokes made Dress to Kill an instant classic in stand-up comedy. At 63 in 2025, Izzard continues to perform worldwide, inspiring audiences with intelligent and fearless comedy. Drew Carey brought relatable, self-deprecating humor to his sitcom, turning it into a long-running success and establishing his comedic voice. At 67 in 2025, Drew Carey is best known as the cheerful host of The Price is Right. Dom Herrera's relatable stories and laid-back delivery made him a staple of 90s stand-up comedy. At 76 in 2025, Herrera still tours comedy clubs with his veteran stage presence. Dennis Leary's rapid-fire delivery and biting observations made him a standout voice in 90s comedy. At 68 in 2025, Leary balances acting, stand-up, and charitable work for firefighters. Dana Carvey's lovable portrayal of Garth and his quirky impressions made Wayne's World a cult classic comedy. At 69 in 2025, Dana Carvey remains a respected stand-up comic and master impressionist. D.L. Hughley's sitcom showcased his quick wit and insight into family and cultural life. At 62 in 2025, Hughley remains an influential comedian and political commentator. Craig Ferguson's Scottish charm and clever comedic instincts made him shine, even in supporting roles. At 63 in 2025, Ferguson is still writing, hosting, and performing stand-up. Conan O'Brien's absurd sketches and self-deprecating humor built a loyal cult following in the 90s. At 62 in 2025, Conan remains active in podcasting, live tours, and comedy production. Colin Quinn's quick wit and grounded humor made him a unique Weekend Update host on SNL. At 66 in 2025, Quinn is touring and releasing comedy specials. Chris Tucker's high-energy performance alongside Jackie Chan turned Rush Hour 2 into an international box office success. At 53 in 2025, Tucker is still active in stand-up and select film projects. Chris Rock's fearless commentary on social issues and relationships revolutionized stand-up and cemented him as a powerhouse in comedy. At 60 in 2025, Chris Rock is still selling out arenas, blending sharp humor with insightful observations. Chevy Chase's sarcastic delivery and physical comedy in Caddyshack helped make the film one of the funniest golf movies ever. At 82 in 2025, Chevy Chase is regarded as a comedy legend whose work influenced generations. Cedric the Entertainer's witty lines and larger-than-life persona made Barbershop a fan favorite. At 61 in 2025, Cedric remains busy with TV hosting, comedy tours, and acting roles. Caroline Rhea's warm and funny portrayal of Aunt Hilda made her a fan favorite on this hit TV series. At 60 in 2025, Rhea continues acting and hosting reality shows. Billy Crystal's charm and natural comedic timing made City Slickers a box office and critical success. At 77 in 2025, Crystal remains a beloved Hollywood figure and occasional Oscar host. Bill Murray's dry wit and deadpan humor transformed Groundhog Day into a clever, emotional comedy that still resonates today. At 74 in 2025, Bill Murray continues to surprise audiences with unconventional roles in film and television. Bill Bellamy's charisma and comedic presence helped him stand out even in ensemble casts. At 60 in 2025, Bellamy is still performing stand-up and acting. Ben Stiller's self-directed comedy about the fashion industry delivered iconic one-liners and cemented him as a master of satirical humor. At 59 in 2025, Stiller is still active in acting and directing, continuing to bring smart comedy to audiences. Aziz Ansari's sharp takes on dating and technology gained him early recognition in the stand-up world. At 42 in 2025, Ansari is an acclaimed comedian and award-winning writer. Andy Dick's eccentric humor and unpredictable presence made him stand out in News Radio's ensemble cast. At 59 in 2025, Dick continues to perform comedy and voice work. Amy Poehler's improv mastery and fearless comedic choices brought Upright Citizens Brigade to life and helped launch her career. At 54 in 2025, Poehler is a successful producer, actress, and respected figure in Hollywood comedy. Stephen Colbert's intelligent satire on The Daily Show established him as one of the brightest comedic voices of his generation. At 61 in 2025, Colbert continues to dominate late-night television with smart and sharp humor. Sarah Silverman's biting humor and unique comedic style stood out even in small roles like School of Rock. At 54 in 2025, she continues to thrive as a stand-up comic and actress. Robin Williams' heartfelt humor and ability to transform into multiple characters made Mrs. Doubtfire a timeless comedy favorite for families everywhere. At 74 in 2025, Williams' legendary work continues to inspire comedians and actors around the world with his unforgettable performances. Paul Rudd's natural comedic timing and charm made him a breakout star in this cult classic comedy. At 56 in 2025, Rudd continues to star in major Hollywood films across genres. Marc Maron's raw, introspective style made him a unique voice in stand-up during his early Conan appearances. At 61 in 2025, Maron is thriving as a comedian, actor, and podcaster. Kevin James' lovable everyman persona made King of Queens one of the most successful sitcoms of its era. At 60 in 2025, he remains a popular figure in TV and film comedies. Jon Stewart's sharp political humor and fearless commentary transformed The Daily Show into a cultural touchstone. At 62 in 2025, Stewart is still a trusted voice blending humor with activism. John Cleese's sharp British humor and clever writing made A Fish Called Wanda a critical and commercial success. At 85 in 2025, Cleese is a comedy icon, still performing and delighting audiences. Joan Rivers' biting fashion critiques and bold humor made her a trailblazer for women in comedy. At 92 in 2025, Rivers' comedic legacy continues to inspire countless performers. Jimmy Fallon's musical parodies and infectious laugh made him a fan favorite on SNL. At 51 in 2025, Fallon continues to host The Tonight Show with a fun, lighthearted style. Jim Carrey's explosive comedic energy and outrageous expressions in Ace Ventura made him one of the most unique comedians of the 90s. At 63 in 2025, Jim Carrey remains a cultural icon, admired for his incredible film legacy and occasional return to the spotlight. Jerry Seinfeld's observational humor and unique comedic voice turned his sitcom into one of the greatest of all time. At 71 in 2025, Jerry Seinfeld is still performing stand-up to sold-out crowds. Jeff Foxworthy's "You Might Be a Redneck" jokes became iconic during the Blue Collar Comedy Tour. At 67 in 2025, Foxworthy continues performing family-friendly comedy across the United States. Jay Leno's engaging monologues and classic late-night hosting style defined The Tonight Show for over 2 decades. At 75 in 2025, Leno remains a beloved figure in television and car culture. Jason Biggs became synonymous with teen comedies after starring in the wildly popular and outrageous American Pie series. At 47 in 2025, Biggs continues to act steadily in both television and independent films. Jamie Kennedy's bold comedic style made Malibu's Most Wanted a cult hit with a devoted fan base. At 55 in 2025, Kennedy continues to appear in TV and stand-up comedy clubs. Harlan Williams' eccentric characters and unpredictable humor made him a fan favorite in Half-Baked. At 62 in 2025, Williams still tours extensively with his stand-up comedy. Their faces might be older, but the laughs they gave us will never get old. How many comedians did you guess correctly? Drop your score in the comments and tell us which transformation surprised you most. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us again for more Then vs. Now where we celebrate the stars who still make us smile.